Hey Cancer, welcome to the Jezebel Way Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing just a basic second half for you guys for love for January. I wanted to say thank you so much for all the views, the likes, the comments. I sure appreciate y'all, all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. We are in Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Pluto's conjunct with something. Everything's kind of going crazy. So Cancer full moon on Monday. So just, keep grounded and I would say, worry about the home and the hearth and the family, because that's what Cancer's going to be in part about. So let's see, Cancer, what we got for you for love, second half. Oh, celebration, union, synergy, coming in together, okay? Everything's going well. You are integrating. You are manifesting. Everything's great. There's a trigger here, though. There's a little bit of a trigger here, though, so let's see what that's about. Okay, well, let's take a look. I don't know why I'm having a hard time deciding what kind of cards I want to use today for some reason. Cancer and love, second half of January. Okay, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the Moon. Little bit of confusion. King and Queen of Cups, that's a match, that's a couple, that could be divine counterparts for some of you out there. And I know that's a dirty word for people now, but that's because they're trying to apply 3D templating to a spiritually based relationship. So anyway, just FYI. Okay, so let's see what this trigger is and what this secret is, this confusion is. Show me trigger. Okay, some things are coming out. Oh, being defensive about communication or being defensive about the truth of something. Clarity is an issue. So let's see what this Ace of Swords is. Something fell on the floor. Just a moment. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands fall in the reverse here. Forward movement and balance. So there's an issue about being defensive about where this is going. Let me see what the Moon is. Sometimes we want to put, about commitment moving forward, about holding back commitment or holding on to commitment. It feels like everything's going well. You're celebrating each other. You're together. But there's a lack of vision, a lack of forward movement in this situation, a lack of commitment some way somebody feels. Sometimes when our ego tells us, hey, there's got to be something happen, A, B, C, D, linear fashion, that's what we believe relationships should be, right? And that's the templating that divine counterparts are breaking away. Your ego tells you, hey, date, love, can't live without you, marriage, living together, whatever. But, sometimes when you put conditions on stuff, and I'm not saying, hey, you're not exclusive, they're seeing other people, you're seeing other people. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is putting the pressure on for immediate commitment because you think that you've met the one, and then everything, if that condition isn't met, then everything must break apart and be destroyed. That's not exactly a conditional, unconditional love moving forward. That's not exactly, hey, let's let this evolve as it's going to. That is placing a condition from the ego and from societal templating on relationships on a relationship that's doing fine. But there is an issue here of this needs to be showing some progress because that is my validation. So if you're experiencing that or your partner's experiencing that, stop and think, where's your validation? What are you placing your validation on? Are you wanting to push the commitment and relationship to validate yourself, for your friends' validation, for other people's validation, or living up to a societal standard? Or, do you feel like your partner's not that into you and you need their validation? So that's something that you need to look at, it looks like to me. So going well, but there are triggers about holding back commitment moving forward. So let's get into it and see what the deal is. Show me, Cancer. Yeah, you're not getting the big ring. Somebody's not getting the ring. They're not getting the big payout here. And so they feel like this isn't going anywhere. And so they in part want to abandon the situation and move forward to someone else. Well, you're not going to give me what I want, so I'm going to move on to somebody else. And I'm going to distract and destroy and tear this down because my ego says that's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to move on and start all over with someone else. When you're going 10, 15 years and there's no commitment, okay, you know what I mean? But there's no reason to self-destruct just to build again. That's a pattern of self-sabotaging, right? So not to say that that's you, Cancer. You guys flip it how you need to. I'm just saying someone is placing conditions on a relationship that may not fit that mold. These are weird. These reads are coming out really weird this month, y'all, for real. Okay. Whoa. Okay, Cancer, here you are. You're dreaming of a specific outcome here, and you feel like, you've endured enough and you've given enough to this relationship, enough strength, or one of you, either you or your partner. And you feel like it's time to pay up or shut up. This lack of progression, this lack of forward movement, this lack of commitment or lack of marriage is creating a lack situation here in this relationship. And it is not feeding my validation. It's not feeding my sense of accomplishment and importance. And so I've got to exit. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Let's see what the blocks are for you. Your partner is dreaming of a life here with the Six of Cups with you. They are enduring something here, but it kind of looks like their outcome they feel is lack. They feel like the outcome has just become a lot of lack because the emphasis has been taken off of the relationship itself. It's been taken off of enjoying each other's company, being in the moment, wanting to come back to connect with each other. And instead it's been placed on a finite, concrete sort of outcome. And so I feel like your partner feels like that just creates lack. They may be starting to feel the responsibility as though they have to fill someone up all the time. Let's see what this Nine of Wands is over here. Yeah, holding back. So you've got a partner here who's doesn't want to feel trapped. Now, I'm not saying, okay, playboy energy, blah, 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 maliciousness. No, your partner is starting to feel like they are being trapped, or maybe you flip it how you need to. Someone here is starting to feel trapped about being pressed about marriage or commitment. And why are they holding back? How come they're not on board with it? It's starting to make them feel trapped, and they're doing everything they can to not be in that mindset. But I think it's continuously presented to them that if they don't do A, then they can't have B. And again, conditions. So for whoever this is resonating with out there, watch your conditions. And that's kind of like judgment shadow work stuff, right? Why are you judging the situation when things are going well based on a finite outcome? Ask yourself that question. So the blocks for you, Cancer, look like they are, I think you feel like you're holding on to this, or somebody here feels like they're holding on to this so tight, because they've never had this kind of love before. They're afraid of losing this love, major losing this love. And so that kind of mentality of, I'm going to control the situation and direct an outcome and insist that we follow a program. And because if it doesn't fit in these boxes, then it can't be successful and valid. And also, it's like that little kid that's holding on to that blanket or teddy bear and they don't want to let that go because it's giving them comfort and giving them love. So it may be that you have to ask yourself why this person's representing that to you. And can this person truly fulfill that for you? Can they fulfill it for you, or do you need to fulfill it yourself? So basically it's saying here, this is creating a lot of tower moments, a lot of arguing, a lot of ultimatums. When you give somebody an ultimatum, you got to be smarter. You got to be 5 steps ahead of somebody when you're presenting an ultimatum. That can't just be a run-of-the-mill, fly out of your mouth type situation. Because when you present someone an ultimatum, you better be prepared to lose. And you better have a plan B. And ask yourself this question. If you present someone with an ultimatum and they cave into you, do you really have any respect for them? Are you going to continue to have respect for them moving forward? Probably not. You're probably going to bounce them like a basketball moving forward because they caved. And if they cave, do they have any self-respect? Are they creating boundaries? Do they have the ability to create boundaries? So those are some bigger issues here than, well, you know what, if you don't present me with an engagement ring in 2 weeks, then this is over. Are you committed to the person and loving the person, or are you committed to the outcome? So let's see what's going on here with this partner over here and see what their blocks are. Should this be about love and compromise moving forward? Or should it be about, I want my way? And this, again, is specific. This is not about, hi, we've been in a relationship for 10 years. Sometimes he lives with me, sometimes he doesn't, or she. I've been wanting to be married for 15 years, and they're not doing it. I mean, that's extreme. So I'm not talking about extremes. Talking about compromise in relationship and timelines and validation issues and abandonment issues and trying to put conditions on something that doesn't need it, because the condition is what you'll get in the end, whether it's fulfilled or not. So your partner's blocks kind of here are about carrying burdens. Not putting in enough work, not being in alignment. Where is the abundance in this relationship? Is it with the condition? Is it with the ultimatum? Is it with the outcome of that idea? Or is it with being with one another and overcoming things and moving forward and building a life together? Partner's block is they don't feel like you're on the same page about what you want. So let's see what's going on between the two of you. Part of this is saying, what happened to this relationship? We were so happy. Things were going well. There was a lot of abundance. There was a lot of fun and celebration. Now I feel like I'm always having to make an apology. I feel like I should be apologetic continually because I'm not wanting to go in the same direction with this person in this condition. There's no victory here. The focus has been taken off the love relationship and placed on the condition. The trigger is fear of abandonment. The trigger is holding something so tight that you're squeezing it to death. And that's the deeper issue here. It's really not about the commitment. It's about the fear of loss. And so when we are in making decisions out of a place of fear, we're always making the wrong decisions. When we're in a mindset of empowerment, then we make the right decision. So flip this around and see how would it feel, right? If it was the shoe was on the other foot, right? Also think about what your priority is. Is the priority the outcome, or is the priority the relationship? See where you land. So let's see how this person feels about you. Whoa, okay. They want this with you. They want this commitment, this new opportunity with you, right? Emperor, they want to be that person for you. Healing star cards, a yes. They want to say yes. The worry is in the pressuring. And the pressuring stems from something that someone feels like they're missing or they're losing. They want this new opportunity with you. They want all the things that you want out of this relationship. But there's something that's putting them off because they feel like, you know, it's become more about that than it has become about the feelings and the relationship and what's going on between the two of you. They're starting to get a lot of anxiety in this situation and feel like they're, you know, is this going to be the same old thing? Is this a rut we're in? Is this deception? Should I judge this situation? Should I close out this cycle, or should I commit? Should we talk about it? Should we move forward? Should I talk about moving forward in commitment with Cancer, new beginning? But again, anxiety about this constantly being the focus of the relationship. So there you have it. Wow, this person's really talking about a lot of stuff here. This is a weird read. Okay, so let's see what they're thinking. I think this should be more about strengthening what you have in the moment instead of weakening what you have in the moment to follow this commitment issue, this marriage, or whatever this pressure is about this relationship. We should be married. We should be engaged right now. I think, again, with the Cancer full moon, the emphasis needs to be on the bonds between the two of you and strengthening the bonds between the two of you, which does lead to those things, as opposed to demanding, pushing, pressuring, prodding to get to a specific destination. Because think about it, if that continues, by the time you do get to the destination, neither one of you are going to want to be there. So let's see what their intention is, Cancer. Okay, they're thinking about missing this opportunity. If they reject this idea, will they miss this opportunity? So they are thinking about the losses in the situation. They want this love to continue to grow. They want to present you with this idea of commitment and marriage and love. That is their wish fulfillment too. The issue, though, is that they feel like there's a little bit of something here that's maybe kind of unstable. So let's see what this means. Oh. They don't feel as though it's the right time, and they don't want to leave you with a bunch of empty promises. It kind of looks like to me they're trusting their intuition and knowing that maybe this is an issue. Again, flip it how you need to. Maybe this is an issue of interpersonal fulfillment as a result of relying on an outside thing person, place, thing, external, to fulfill an internal problem. So let me see what this is about, though. The Eight of Cups. Show me the Eight of Cups. Yeah, they're starting to feel not happy and like this is going to end in heartbreak if they don't go the way that you want them to go. And chances are they may not if it continues on this course. Let's see what they're going to do. Yeah, I think they're going to put down the idea of emotional fulfillment because it doesn't seem like either one of you right now are too emotionally fulfilled. And it may end, this may end. There may be a transformation of this not being an option for them or for you. They're juggling two ideas and trying to balance, or you are. They're trying to balance the idea of commitment, of marriage. But I think they kind of feel like you already are committed. There already is a commitment. But there's a specific outcome someone wants to get to, and that's what they don't trust, and they don't understand why. So their intentions are pure. I don't think they're trying to stall out or bamboozle you about commitment. They just don't understand why you want it so bad, right? Or flip it how it is. And when I talk about commitment, this is a couple who are already on their way to a marriage, to a long-term situation. They are exclusive. They are together. This is not about quit seeing other women or quit seeing other men. That's not what this is about. This is about a couple who one person in this situation has got like, rocket roller skates on trying to get to the altar before the sky falls in. Partner doesn't understand the sense of urgency because it feels deceptive. So I know that that's pretty specific for some of y'all out there, but if it doesn't resonate, throw it out. Let's see what they're going to do. I don't think necessarily they're going to go anywhere, but I do think that, because the Queen of Wands fell in the reverse, I don't think they're necessarily going to go anywhere. There may be a little bit of space created between the two of you, especially if that subject comes up. But there's going to be a lot of fighting. And they're starting to lose the motivation or the feelings that make you want to be together in the first place. And I think that either it's you or your partner, however, starting to lose a little bit of passion and respect because somebody's clamping the chains down. So be prepared for that. What are they going to do? I think they may physically not distance themselves, but I feel like emotionally they may distance themselves. Or maybe that's you. Show me, let's see what they expect you to do. They expect you to move forward with them and work on this relationship. But they are saying here, they are not going to be making the offer for marriage at this moment. And it's starting to feel real petty. They're not going to apologize about it either. They are just going to start blocking you out. Or you're going to start blocking them out, however it lands for you, when the subject comes up. So they're going to, freeze you out, basically. But I feel like, again, concentration needs to be put back on the celebration of the relationship and the compromise and coming together, and less on the trigger of the fear of loss and abandonment. So let's see what they want to say to you. No, I'm sorry, excuse me. What's their next move? I'm not following my own program here. try to understand what this is that's happening. I'm not necessarily sure they feel confident there's going to be a breakthrough. They're going to try to put conflict aside. They're going to try to redirect the conflict. And it's not because, they're being a poussoir, but because they want to maintain and keep their relationship secure and good. They don't want hurtful things to be said. They don't want things to be done on impulse, out of anger in the relationship. I think they're going to try to understand. They may be extra attentive toward you with gifts, flowers, They feel like this is an internal battle that you're fighting. And so I think they're going to try to be very gentle with you. But they're very sad. There seems to be a loss of intimacy, right? A loss of focus on the relationship. So their next move, they're not going to try to, claw your eyeballs out or anything, but, they're going to try to be patient. They feel like this is an internal situation, fear. So I think they're going to try to show you, look, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So let's take care of this fear. Let's see what they have to say to you. Okay, somebody may not be comfortable with intimacy. True intimacy, not sex, and we're always together for holiday events, or we're watching Netflix together, or, whatever those things are. This is about true intimacy, about knowing someone. Getting past the walls, getting past the facades, getting past all of that stuff, and actually accepting and knowing someone. I'm scared to be vulnerable. Okay, there we go. A fear of abandonment, Cancer. I think that's what you're saying to them. Somebody, again, I think either that's you or your partner is not, and I think however it lands, doesn't understand what intimacy means. And motivation behind commitment does not depend on a ring, a piece of paper, a lease. You can have all of those things and have zero intimacy. You can have all of those things and not be able to be in the same room with each other. You can have all of those things and they still are stepping out of the commitment with other people. So those things don't make a commitment. It's the idea and the motivation between the partners that make the commitment. So again, it may be realizing what does commitment mean, really? They're kind of hurt. They're saying they're a little bit hurt because they feel like, with that you're pressing on them with this, and that as a result of concentrating on that there's a loss of quality in the relationship. So let's get some love cards on it and see what they have to say. The Union of Hearts. 10, waiting room. Where are we going? Where are we taking this? Where do we want to go? There is a connection of love that defies explanation. Doesn't need a ring, doesn't need a piece of paper, doesn't need a lease, doesn't need a race to a finish line. All it needs is the daily feeding of it. That's what it means. The connection's already there. The commitment's already there. Be authentic to who you are. This is about getting in alignment with what you want. Is there someone trying to change your focus because of their opinion of your relationship? Is there someone there who's saying, well, you should be married by now. Why isn't he marrying you? Why isn't she marrying him? Blah, blah, blah. That's none of their business because they're not in your relationship. Their opinions of your situation are based on what they see, on what you let them see, not on how things truly are. How does the relationship feel to you? Is it in alignment with what you want moving forward? Do you want the relationship, or do you want to race to the finish line and feel like it has to progress to a certain point? You're asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. And I think if you've got people in your ear, influencing how you feel about where the progression of the relationship is going, those people need to mind their own business, first of all. But you can't allow that kind of thing to affect how you view the relationship and how you contribute to the connection. So, Cancer, that's what I have for y'all. And I'll see you second half.